Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the SHICHIDA Shining Stars Podcast, a podcast where we address all the questions parents have about early childhood education. My name is Mr. Dan, and with me today is a very special guest, the Head of Business Operations for SHICHIDA Australia, Miss Hanako Ward. Hi, Hanako.
Hi, Dan. How are you going?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Hanako is here with us today to help us answer a question many parents ask us here at SHICHIDA. When is the best time to get a start on your child's education? So what do you think, Hanako? When should parents be looking to get started on helping their child learn?
Well, the earlier the better. My advice would be get started now if you can. Well, the first 2 years of your child's life is super important in terms of learning, where brains are like sponges.
You say the first 2 years of the life, so do you mean literally from day one?
Yeah, day one. Even when your child's in the womb, you can start talking to your child, but from day one, certainly.
So you said that the first 2 years of their life are crucial to their learning. Could you explain a little bit about why this is the case?
Sure. So you might understand yourself. You're learning Japanese at the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
Yeah. Trying might be the key word. As adults, it's super hard for us to learn a different language. But when you think about it, little kids, they're able to fluently learn a language within their first 2 years of life. And that's because that's when their brains are just able to absorb so much information and learn so easily. So that's when the brains are in what we call the right brain state, learning through alpha waves.
Yeah.
And it's just easier to learn.
Okay. So learning through alpha waves. So, I have a rough understanding of this, but essentially at this age, kids are able to absorb information more readily than when they're adults, right?
Yeah. So as adults, when we're learning, typically we're pretty stressed. So if you're studying for an exam, say you're studying for a Japanese JLPT exam, are you studying for anything at the moment, Dan?
Well, funny you should mention. I was just thinking about joining the JLPTs this year.
Okay, there you go. So that's going to probably involve some study. And when you're studying as an adult, your brain waves are in the beta wave, which is sort of the stress wave where you're sort of very consciously trying to learn. Whereas children, they don't realise they're learning and their brain waves are sort of in that calm state. That's what we call the alpha wave. So they're calmly just absorbing information. So say we start, a 6-month-old or a 0-year-old trying to get them started to learn Japanese, they'll probably be able to ace that JLPT exam without a lot of stress within the first 5 years of life, whereas for us as adults, it's a lot harder because we're sort of stressed while we're trying to learn. So kids have a definite advantage. They don't realise they're learning, but they are.
Right. So that's why kids, they kind of grow up bilingual. They kind of just pick up the two languages naturally, right?
Yeah.
So you would recommend that, if parents are trying to raise their kids to be bilingual, to use the language other than English as much at home?
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
It's going to make it so much easier in the long run. And I'm glad my mum spoke Japanese to me when I was growing up as well, because it would be a nightmare if I'm trying to learn how to speak to her now as an adult in her native language.
Yeah, that's true. I have a similar issue with my parents. I think they mostly used English at home with me and my brother when we were growing up. So
Right.
my Lao speaking ability is not ideal.
They missed that golden period.
Yeah, that's right. So the golden period doesn't just extend to language, right? It extends to other kinds of education.
Yeah, absolutely everything. Anything under the age of 2. It's just so much easier for kids to learn and absorb. That's when they learn the most and are able to learn the easiest. So we just want to, make sure that learning's fun and easy for kids with the SHICHIDA program, which is why we do start the kids off at 6 months old. So they get that head start.
Yeah, okay. So what advice would you give to parents that are trying to take advantage of that crucial golden period? Like, how can they help their kids absorb and retain the information?
Well, you don't have to do much. If there's a SHICHIDA centre near you, definitely get started in a SHICHIDA class where the teachers are guiding you. That's easy. Otherwise, just in your daily life, talk to your child as you go about your tasks when you're shopping at the grocery stores, even if, your child's not speaking, you can talk to your child, say, okay, we're going to buy 3 apples today, count them out, 1, 2, 3, well, this one's a nice red apple, let's grab this one. Just talk to your child naturally because your baby is absorbing absolutely everything.
Yeah, okay. But at this age, they're obviously not able to speak yet in most situations. So, how can parents be sure that the kids are kind of picking up what they're saying to their child?
Well, under the age of 2, the golden period is the input period. So that's where we just input a lot, input, and then we start to get the output. You'll notice when your child starts speaking, might be, around 1.5, that suddenly it's just starts bursting out. It's like filling a cup with water. You're filling the cup with lots of information. And then after, a certain age, it just starts overflowing. They're able to give you all that output. So even if you don't see your baby sort of responding or even turning your way when you're talking, don't worry too much. Your child is definitely absorbing everything around them.
Yeah, and then you won't be able to get them to stop speaking.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so for parents trying to take advantage of the golden period, you would recommend just kind of exposing them to as much information as you can and just keep talking to them in that way.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And I guess programs like Shichida really give kids the opportunity to have kind of like a structured scenario in which they can learn a variety of topics, yeah?
Well, absolutely. There's actually in Australia no program like Shichida for the under 2. So if there's, Shichida classes near you, I'd say definitely get your child in as early as you can. Otherwise, just talk to your child, maybe look at the Shichida online resources as well. They're quite good to give you some hints and tips also as what you can be doing as a parent with your child.
Yeah, I understand there is a lot to the Shichida program, but in a nutshell, how would you explain the difference between doing a class at Shichida and just say like talking to your child at the shops, for example?
Okay, well, talking to your child is not very structured. You're going through the day-to-day. The Shichida program exposes your child in a 50-minute class to just a multitude of things, from critical thinking to all sorts of different topics, language arts, counting, numeracy, storytelling as well. There's games. It's so much bunched into one lesson, and it's designed for the specific age of your child. So it is catering to your child's needs, and it's things as well that you can pick up with your teacher through the Shichida curriculum and take home and be replicating. So there's a definite advantage if you're in a Shichida class getting exposed to all those learning techniques that you can be doing with your child.
So it's not just about the child's learning, but the parents learning as well about
definitely
how to teach their kids at home. Nice. Yeah. And it's fun, right? Like that's a big part of Shichida.
No point doing a class if it's not fun, I reckon. So yes, the Shichida program is fun, meant to be fun. We want to make learning fun for the kids so that when they go on to school and whatever in life, they find it fun. So are motivated to want to learn.
Okay. And yeah, just one last thing, Hanako, before I let you go. So we've talked a lot about the golden period from 0 to 2 years old, but that's not to say that kids stop learning after the age of 2, is it?
No, they definitely don't stop learning. It just becomes harder. So if you can get in early, then that's fantastic for you and your child. My motto is the earlier the better, but it's never too late.
Yeah, I'm still learning today. So.
Yeah, same here.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time today, Hanako, and for answering my questions. Remember, everybody, your baby is learning and absorbing information from day one, so it's never too early to start supporting their learning. For more information on how the Shichida program has been helping parents and kids get an early start on education, visit www.shichida.com.au. You can enter the coupon code FUN50 to receive a 50% off your first lesson. Alternatively, you can follow us on Instagram at SHICHIDA Australia. You can join our Facebook group to be part of the conversation, or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel to get instant access to a wealth of parenting and early childhood education videos. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you again, Hanako, for joining us.
Thanks, Dan.
Until next time, bye-bye.